Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box or plant shopping at Walmart off of Lake Forest in McKinney, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting that like button. It definitely helps out my channel, and also subscribe to my channel. I do 1 hour plant shopping videos daily with a live premiere chat. So today we're at this Walmart. I was here a couple of days back and it was super full. You can see right here, I actually missed this. This is interesting, $3.97 for a spider plant. I know we see some hanging baskets of spider plants, but it's nice to see that Walmart is carrying them as well. $3.97 is not bad. I actually might go ahead and buy this spider plant today, just because that is a very good price. Walmart definitely has some good pricing when it comes to their garden expert line. And to my plant foldies, if you are new to this channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. What do you guys think about Walmart plants? I know that I've often visited Walmart plants. Do you think that Walmart plants are the cheapest or most cost-effective plants? I've seen a variety of plant pricing that kind of rival Walmart, but I would say overall Walmart typically has the best big box pricing, definitely the most cost effective on so many things. And you can see they've really stepped up their game in terms of just what kind of gardening plants they have. My purpose was actually to go here and look for a specific coleus plant. It was by Garden Expert and it was only for $5.97 and it had a lot of color. I'm going to be looking for it. Hopefully I find it. And it's one of those lessons that we get where if we find a plant that we really like, we tell ourselves, I'll come back another time or another day, and then you come back and it's not there. This has happened to me so many times, so I kind of regret not picking up the coleus. But look at all these flowering plants right over here. These were mostly by Better Homes and Garden, pretty much the higher end for Walmart. And you can see these petunias are really gorgeous. You can see there's the dark purple ones, and then we have the red ones and the candy cane looking ones. These are the more petunias. Love this. And these petunias definitely love full sun, so if you have a very sunny space, you definitely want to plant this there. And these are for $8.97. I remember when petunias didn't have so many varieties of them. I was at a local plant nursery the other day called Calloways, and they had these line called Crazy Tunias, where they had a lot of really cool petunias. Like, I've never seen a black colored petunia before, and that bloom was absolutely stunning. But as you can see, this particular Walmart is still super full. I would say that over the Easter weekend, this place has sold a lot of outdoor plants. But you can see right over here, Better Homes and Garden has all of these like container made easy plants with a bunch of mixed flowers. So I like the color arrangement of this. That lavender purple looks really nice, and these are not a bad price at all. I think these are like $17, but it's already a ready-to-made container. So for Walmart, if you really do want to do your outdoor gardening and even indoor plants, definitely go to Walmart. This particular Walmart is one of the more higher volume ones, so they receive a lot of product. And this one already is a coleus that I have. This one is for $5.97, and there isn't a specific name for this coleus, but it's one that has a different type of leaf shape. I like coleus plants. Actually, it's for $6.97. That's still not bad. I like coleus plants just because they're easy to propagate. They come in so many varieties. They are either for shade, and some coleus plants are actually meant to go out in full sun. So I will see what kind of coleus I can collect. I'm basically looking for coleus every time I go plant shopping now, and I'm hoping to get a lot of varieties. I also started some seeds, some coleus seeds. So we're going to see if they actually germinate in the next, 6 or 7 days. So I'll keep you posted on that. But I did want to just pan over this Walmart. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what plants are still available. Like over here, we've got a Callia lily. Love Callia lilies, and Callia lilies are perennials that you can plant in the ground. And for those that don't know what perennials, it means that these particular plants can grow back year after year. So, you would want to go plant some perennials. I'll obviously look for the zone you live in and just make sure that those growing conditions are right for that particular perennial. But like this one right here is a euphorbia. Really like this a lot. This is another plant that is by Better Homes and Garden. I think these ones are for $9.74. Look at that variegation on the plant. And, you know, it's one of those plants that I am actually thinking about trying to grow indoors or at least over winter. You know, hopefully this Walmart actually gets more of a restock. I've noticed that the restock of some of these plants, like they just sold so many plants, and there's that one particular coleus I don't think I'm gonna actually find, which is really disappointing, but I did want to just pan over here and show you how gorgeous these flowers are at Walmart. And you can see there are more petunias right over here. Love that pink petunia. It looks like another pink candy cane. And it's just amazing how nature can really make these different types of patterns. Petunias, these ones are in a container. So if you have a Walmart and you like petunias, Walmart definitely will have all the petunias that you can possibly grow. And I did want to pan over here and show you guys this gorgeous Riger begonia. So I've got a couple of begonias now growing, and they're like the wax begonias. They are growing outdoors, and actually over the weekend, over Easter weekend, my grandmother gave me a begonia maculata she propagated, but you can see right here that is another coleus plant. Love that color for coleus. You know, some people have grown coleus from seed, and even in the live premiere chat or from my plant foldy community, you know, people have gotten into coleus. So I'm curious, what is your method of growing coleus? Do you like to propagate them by just cuttings? Do you stick them in water or directly into soil? My grandmother says that her coleus are just stuck into soil, so I think that's really interesting. And I just can't get over the beauty of these columbine plants. I've never really paid attention to it, but if you look at the bottom part of the plant, they kind of look like squid or some type of like sea creature. And then these are some Asiatic lilies. So Asiatic lilies actually have different colors. I'll try to show you one when that's actually in bloom, but you can see right over here we have a bunch of hosta plants. These are also by Better Homes and Garden. And I'm going to pan over here and show you some more of the pink Callia lily. So, you know, with Callia lilies, if you want to plant them in the landscape, they will return to you year after year because they are perennials. And these ones are by Better Homes and Gardens. These are for $9.74. Love the pink look on those blooms. And Callia lilies are just really gorgeous looking plants. You know, you often see them at grocery stores just because they are more of a floral type, you know, plant. It's not cut flowers. It's a plant that actually will grow, and I actually prefer that. And then you can see right here tons of beautiful geraniums. We got geranium hanging baskets for like $12.97. The pink ones are gorgeous. They have different shades of pink, very delicate looking color. And then we've got a bunch of wax begonias and more geraniums. So at least for Walmart, there's a bunch of hanging baskets. Plant foldies or anybody watching this video, leave in the comments if you love growing hanging basket flowers. I haven't really had the interest to do that. I prefer plants that are more trailing. And you can see right over here, we've got some Asiatic lilies. Love the pink, very delicate looking color. And it's one that actually matches Easter. And then right over here, we've got another Asiatic lily. This one is a red with some subtle orange. What a nice fiery look for the lilies. So we have all sorts of them over here, and these are by Garden Expert for $5.47. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy this yellow columbine plant. Look at that. Gorgeous. Really, you know, the pastel look on these flowers are really nice, and these are only for $5.47. I like that a lot. Now the Better Homes and Garden version, the blue one and like the pink ones were for $9.47. So there is a bit of a price difference. So if I can find a better if I can find the Garden Expert, versus the Better Homes, I'll go with that just because it is a little bit more inexpensive. And you can see this one is also another columbine plant I'm going to purchase today. This one is the red variety, and it's just so beautiful. So I actually thought about growing these from seed, but a plant foldy in the live chat told me that Basically, you can grow these columbine from seed, but the problem is it will take literally an entire year of growth before you will actually get blooms. So these ones have been growing for quite a while, so I am going to go ahead and purchase these. I'm going to put them in my landscape actually in full sun just to see if I can grow these perennials and if they will actually come back year after year. I do like the color of the flowers. The same thing with these geraniums right over here, a fiery looking geranium. We've got a bunch of other plants like this one right here. Look at this petunia, gorgeous looking petunia, 588. I love the subtlety of that, and these are by Better Homes and Gardens again. Now with petunias, if you're going to grow them in containers or in the landscape, just know that once the plants flowers start to die, you want to go ahead and deadhead them, and that means just cutting the actual bloom off, so that way the plant thinks that it's still needing to go push out blooms. That's a trick that was told by me by my grandmother, and it has worked for her really well over the years. And you can see right here we've got a bunch of jumbled up indoor tropical plants. That's the only thing that's really unfortunate. So you could see that the outdoor portion of this garden center actually had really organized plants, and then we have a bunch of these aroids right here and just houseplants all jumbled up. Now these ones right here, I ended up buying a chameleon ZZ. So this is a very uncommon ZZ plant. You often see the Raven ZZ and just a regular ZZ plant, but chameleon ZZ, that's really cool to find at a big box or so. You know, even if it is jumbled up, it's always interesting to find a really cool uncommon find. Now these are by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals for 1984, so I really like that. And what else I like about the chameleon ZZ plant or ZZ plants in general, they are low light tolerant, so they're easy to care for plants that I would recommend for anybody that's like starting to grow indoor house plants. And you can see right here, this one would be another pick that I would find as like a healthy looking plant. This one is an Epipremnum aureum Global Green Pothos by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. That one is also for 1984. And we're just going to keep walking by a bunch of these plants. Like these plants have been here for a couple weeks, some for months, and they haven't necessarily declined in health that bad, but just having them jumbled up like this is just really disappointing because it's kind of a jumbled mess and it's hard to like really select what plants you want. Now, on the other end, I totally understand that, you know, some big box stores may not have the staffing or even just the interest to really take care of the plants or actually, you know, arrange them. But it is nice to have, you know, plants that are merchandised and organized. Just makes it easier for us to shop. And you can see right over here, we've got an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. That one is for 1984. And with that particular pothos, you want to make sure that you are giving it a lot of bright and direct light, so that way you'll get that yellow variegation from that pothos. But we'll go over here and walk and see what else they have here. I'm going to skip the large tropical plants just because I featured that before. But you can see the outdoor section here has a little bit more organization. And we've got a ton of different types of shrubs. Here we've got some azaleas. Now these are not the encore azaleas. These ones are by Garden Expert, and these ones aren't the ones that rebloom. I prefer to grow encore azaleas just because you'll get 3 bloom cycles versus just one. And you can see this one right here has a beautiful purple look about that bloom. Love azaleas. You know, the one thing you need to know about azaleas, as it's developing and you put it in the ground, you need to make sure that you are consistently watering the roots. They do not like to dry out. When they do dry out, they suffer. They end up dropping their leaves. It's just not good for the azaleas. And you can see right here, we've got some more cordyline tea plants. We've got some asparagus ferns. And then we've got this right here. This one is a Zora bush, or this is some type of like jasmine flower. Like that a lot. It is it's got different types of colors, but this one particularly has some red orange and orange blooms. Beautiful looking plant. It's definitely one that cannot tolerate colder conditions, so this is more for a tropical area, or you would just have to grow that as an annual in places that get really tough winters. And here we've got a bunch of Croton petras. You know, with Croton petras, they are basically a tropical bush that you can grow outdoors as an annual, or you can overwinter it. They definitely don't do as well indoors unless you can provide them with a lot of light. And you can see right over here, this one, it's a pretty good looking one, nice size. And with Walmart, they give you some really cost-effective pricing. I like a Croton Petra. I have one Croton right now, actually two, but one Croton I have growing outdoors, and it's doing very well. It's actually pushed out a lot of growth for me. And I'm going to pan over here, and it just brings me nostalgia just because I used to grow so many roses. I had a variegated rose garden in my backyard, and you can see right here, I love these types of roses. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous these flowers are. And what I like about roses is I used to make rose tea. So what I would do is actually dry the rose petals and then just infuse them with my loose leaf tea. But look at how electrifying these colors are. Look at how gorgeous that is. Now with roses, they definitely need to be in full sun. They like hotter temperatures. And the one thing you need to not do on roses is to water them at night and actually water their leaves. Do not water their foliage. If possible, you need to make sure that you're watering them from the bottom. So if you have like an irrigation system, you don't want to let them sit there in like water because they get fungus diseases. And let me show you an example. Like, look at this. This one has that black fungus disease. All of the leaves turn yellow and those spread very quickly. So I would not buy any roses around this area just because that could have spread out to all of those rose bushes at Walmart. So that's how fast it spreads. And you can see here we have a bunch of hibiscus plants. Love this flower. Look at this pink one. I actually saw a bunch of really nice looking hibiscus flowers at Kroger, which is another local grocery store here in Texas. But hibiscus flowers, they're very nice. They're easy to grow. They prefer full sun. I actually have the variegated bush one, the salsa dancer one, but this pink one looks really nice. And of course, you can't watch a grow fold video without hearing me say Hedera helix, or the correct way to say it is Hedera helix, or what is called in English ivy. Now this one is for $3.74. These are considered ground cover. You can grow them outdoors. Now with English ivy, for some reason, they are marketed as an indoor houseplant. I suppose you can grow them indoors, but I've stated it in so many of my videos. They're a very challenging plant because when grown indoors, they're just a little bit more susceptible to spider mites. Now I have left Walmart and we are going to one of my favorite local plant nurseries. This one is Calloways Nursery right off of Highway 121 off of Custer Road in Plano, Texas. It's one of the larger Calloways. Now Calloways is a local plant nursery chain of nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. And you can see here, I like to visit that, and I actually have been going on a coleus hunt. Love coleus plants. That's the thing. You get one particular plant and you want to collect them all. Well, coleus have pretty much gotten me interested in just collecting so many different types of cultivars. I think the reason being is because of my grandmother. It really inspired me to grow coleus, and I didn't realize that you can grow coleus indoors. I've done some research on them and they're super easy to grow. They're easy to propagate as well. The only thing about coleus plants, and this is my grandmother says, they're easy to care for plants, but they do require somebody who is a hardworking plant parent. And what that means is, yes, their care is easy in terms of what they need, but what they need though is they need to stay watered daily. Like coleus plants do not tolerate being dried out like that. They really like water. They're very thirsty plants, but you can see they've got so many different varieties of coleus plants. Now, most coleus are typically grown more in the shade, but they've developed cultivars that can take full sun. I have yet to really find out which ones they are, but you can see that Callaway's has a bunch of starter ones for $2.49. This one is for $12.99, and I do like this coleus Parilla Magia. I don't really have a lot of dark foliage coleus here, and you can see the veining, the pink veining is really nice. I do want to see what other coleus I can buy. I think I'm going to buy this one right here. I don't have a plant ID, but this one is for $6.99. I like that a lot. What I like about this coleus is it looks like it's like a regular green coleus, but it has like splotches of like magenta or maroon variegation. Really like that a lot. And for $6.99, that is not bad. I could actually snip the top leaves or the top branches and then actually propagate it in water. Coleus roots so easily in water, and that's what a lot of people do. Apparently, when you overwinter coleus, you can just take a bunch of cuttings and actually cut most of the leaves off and just have a jar full of coleus plants. And then when it's time for spring to come around, you can just plant them and you'll have coleus plants. I am growing a bunch of coleus seeds, so we will see how they do. They, I think, are on day 4 in my little seed tray, so hopefully they will grow. But you can see right here, this is a coleus kiwi fern, and this one has a different type of leaf shape around it. I do love the fact that, you know, a lot of coleus, they have very pronounced margins on their leaves. You can see the outlining here has more of like a neon green highlight, and next to that purple background or the leaf, it's really nice as well. And this actually has some subtle pinks, so there's a lot of coloration here. This is the kiwi fern, and this one is also for $6.99. So you will be seeing a lot of coleus content on my channel for sure. And you can see right here, coleus coral candy. This is another one I probably should have bought. This one is also for $6.99. Love dark foliage coleus, and you can see that the leaf shape is a little bit different here. That's the reason why I love going to Calloways. There's so many Calloways locations, and you can see this one right here is another one. This one is some other cultivar with not a specific ID name. It just has like numbers and whatnot, but really cool looking coleus. Let me know in the comments, plant foldies, if you guys like coleus plants, if you're collecting them. I definitely am collecting coleus plants. I'm actually going to see how many coleus cultivars I can collect this season. And you got to think it's only day 2 of April, and you know, we still got a lot of spring left in us. And you can see that this is the same coleus plant, but this one has darker leaves. The other one has more like neon yellow. This one's a little bit more green, so it might just be the lighting conditions it was grown. Now with coleus, you definitely want to give it as much bright light as possible because you will get the best coloration. But this is the one I'm going to choose to take. The reason being, it's a little bit more full of a plant. It's not as leggy. It's actually pretty bushy, and it's got a nice yellow tone about it. Really like the look of this leaf, so that's one's going to go home with me. Now I want to pan over here and show you guys these caladium starters. Now these ones I believe are for either $2.47 or $1.58, one of the two. But caladium plants, they kind of remind me of a super colorful like alocasia, just the way they look, the leaf shape, and they come in so many varieties of shapes and sizes and colors. Like look at this one right here. This caladium is gorgeous. I did buy a pink caladium. I'm all about pink plants, and when I say that caladiums are a perfect candidate for pink plants, that is true. Now a couple of plant foldies in the last live premiere chat mentioned that they would grow caladiums indoors. I would love to be able to grow caladiums indoors, so that's something I will try. Now, if we are going to grow caladiums indoors, if you don't want them to go dormant, just like alocasia, you want to provide an environment that is a little bit warmer consistently and give it a lot of bright light. So maybe growing them under a grow light, and even humidity would help. That way they kind of stay active. But you can see that they've got a lot of coleus. Now, I keep saying coleus. Caladiums available. I like, look at this one. Love that pink color. So let me know in the comments, plant foldies, or even in the live premiere chats, what kind of varieties of caladiums that you like. I like the pink ones, the red ones. There's a bunch of Thai caladiums that are a little bit rare. I would love to get some bulbs. Now with caladiums, they won't really sprout unless they have warmer conditions. So typically they actually are more readily available and start to actually sprout more so in the summer. But these ones must have been grown in a greenhouse that it's a little bit warmer. And you can see there is a sea of green oxalis plants. These are actually in bloom, and those would make great ground cover even in Texas, North Dallas. I have a couple that continue to go pop up year after year, and they keep spreading, so I like that. And then we have some abutulion, however you pronounce it. This was considered the flowering maple, even though it is not part of the Acer family. What I like about this is obviously the leaves look like maple leaves, but they have some beautiful lantern looking flowering blooms. I don't know what the color is for this one. I've had a variegated version, and this one actually can be grown indoors. The only thing about these flowering plants is you definitely need to give it a lot of bright light. Maybe grow it on a grow light or maybe a south-facing window. I think the blooms for this one would be red, and this is one that I would buy. These are for $12.99. So I'm going to wait to see if I can get one of these in my collection. You know, there's a lot of plants. Whenever you go plant shopping where you just see it and you want to buy it, I'm trying to be conservative about not, bringing so many plants home. But You know, when you see beautiful, healthy plants and you live in the North Dallas area and there's just all these nurseries like Callaway's available, it's really tough not to buy plants. And then on top of that, we have all of these cool big box stores. I will say that these spring cactus are so gorgeous, and I love the orange buds that this one has, and then the fuchsia pink ones as well. Here's something interesting. I've never seen a Tradescanthia. This is a Tradescanthia velvet, and this one's for $249 or $247. I am going to buy one of these. I've never seen one before, and Tradescanthia are really easy to take care of. I have the Nanook and I have a smaller version, but I haven't gotten this one. I've never seen it. It looks like it's got like spider webbing on it. What an interesting looking plant here. It almost reminds me of a succulent. So I'm going to go pick through and see which Tradescanthia velvet I'm going to do, but you know, pick up and buy. But the one thing I will say is with Tradescanthia, they're so easy to propagate. So I'm thinking I'll start with a starter plant and then get a couple of cuttings going and then really get a full plant right here. But I do love the texture of the leaves. That webbing on it is super cool. Even if it's just like a green plant, I just like the texture. Let me know in the comments if you like this Tradescanthia as well, this Tradescanthia velvet. I'm just going to keep picking through and see which one I'm going to actually buy. All right, I made my selection. So we're going to go back inside and look at all of the indoor houseplants and like check this out. I'm just going to walk through here and just show you how beautiful this particular Calloways is. I would say this is one of the best Calloways in all of the Dallas-Fort Worth area locations. I mean, I love how they merchandise their plants. You can see they've got hanging baskets of cactus. They've got a bunch of Hedera helix. Right here, we've got some Hedera helix, lots of English ivies, and these are for $6.99. I bought a Hedera helix from Callaway's about a month and a half ago, going on 2 months, and surprisingly, my English ivy is actually doing amazing. There are no spider mites. It's still pushing out new growth. So it is actually lucky number 13 that I bought that English ivy. I've killed 12 English ivies in the past, but number 13 and 14 are doing well. I think it's because I've gotten some more preventative measures going, like I spray it with a neem oil spray that I actually make myself once a week, and I have a humidifier right next to it. So, you know, spider mites are kept at bay. That's the thing about English ivy. And you can see I showed you guys a beautiful variegated Boston fern, the tiger stripes one, but all of this gorgeousness right here. And I can never get, over looking at these beautiful Riger begonias. So this is another begonia that I may add to my collection. I've bought a bunch of wax begonias. Now this one is for $16.99 in a 6-inch planter. I actually like this bloom. Just the red bloom is gorgeous, as well as that yellow one over there. And what else do we have right over here? Plant Fine. Do you see what I see? This is a variegated Burle Marx Philodendron. This one's for $99 in a 6-inch planter. Look at that variegation right over here. It is so awesome to be seeing more variegated philodendron showing up at local plant nurseries. The next thing you know, you're probably going to see like a variegated Burle Marx philodendron in a big box store, but it's always nice to see that they show up at local plant nurseries. This plant used to be so expensive. I will say $99 is still quite pricey for this. And the only risk I would say by buying a Burle Marx philodendron variegated is it's very well known to revert back to green. But I will pan over here and just show you the gorgeousness that is this Calloways Nursery. And right over here, we're looking at some cool wooden leaf trellises that you can get some of your plants to grow on. So look at this right here. You just kind of stick it in there, and that's a really good concept. I may just get my brother-in-law, who's a carpenter, to make me some custom made leaves like this. I think that would be really cool to get some of my trailing plants growing up that, like especially like my pothos plants, my ivy, anything that likes to climb up on something, that would be really cool. So that's a nice looking little section right there. And then obviously look at this jungle. We've got a rhaphis palm, and we're just gonna walk through right over here. And right over here, we've got some Rex begonia. Love me some Rex begonia. They have some large versions of Rex begonias at Calloways. This one has so much coloration, and this one again is for $16.99. But these are large form Rex begonias. Didn't realize that Rex begonias can be grown out in the landscape as an annual. I've always thought about Rex begonias as being like an indoor plant. And check this out. For $139.99, we got an Epipremnum pinnatum aurea on a totem. So this is another type of plant that's similar to a pothos plant, but this is a pinnatum version where as it grows up the pole, it will fenestrate and really split its leaves. Really like that a lot. And I'm going to spin over here and show you guys all of the aglaonemas, as well as this beautiful looking Monstera Thai Constellation. This one is for $499. Truthfully, that is not a bad price at all, considering you are getting a mature version of a Monstera Thai Constellation. And we've got a bunch of aglaonemas here. Now, with aglaonemas, they are one of the most underrated, easy plants. I love this aglaonema. Look at how full this is. This is only for $39.99. I might actually buy this aglaonema at some point because you're getting so many plants. And I love white stem aglaonema. Now, aglaonemas are very easy to care for plants. They can tolerate lower light conditions. And if you have a space in your home that has lower light conditions, you can grow an aglaonema there. The only thing that'll happen to your aglaonema is it won't be as fast of a grower. Aglaonemas in general, that's the only drawback, is they are slower growing plants, but you can get so many different leaf shapes, colors, sizes, you name it. Aglaonema is there. The green versions tend to be a little bit more vigorous. And this looks like an aglaonema, but it is not. This is a Dieffenbachia in a 6-inch planter. I actually added a Dieffenbachia to my plant collection. I ended up getting a Dieffenbachia Sublime at Walmart for $9.97. But that one right here is not a bad looking aglaonema. Not aglaonema, Dieffenbachia, sorry. And then this one right here is a Dieffenbachia camouflage. What a gorgeous looking Dieffenbachia. This one is for $39.99. So if you go to Callaway's, there are so many large plants. So if you want instant gratification, you can definitely get that at Callaway's, and you can see beautiful looking Philodendron orchid. And I'm just going to pan over here and show you guys some more plants. So with these colorful type of aglaonemas with the pinks and just all that different variegation, these will need a little bit more bright light in order for them to have the best coloration. So just keep that in mind. Aglaonemas, whenever you're going to water them, you need to wait till their soil is completely dry. Give it a good soak, and that is about it. And right over here, we've got a ton of variegated Burle Marx Philodendron. You can see that variegation here. Look at how gorgeous that is. That one is like all variegated. You know, if I was in the hunt for that, I would actually buy this for $99 because it is a fairly large philodendron. It's just a lot of money to shell out for plants. And when you think about like these variegated philodendrons or variegated plants, the fact that we can buy a Monstera Thai Constellation now at Kroger for like $29.99, I'm sure that these plants are eventually going to make it to a big box store and they'll be a little bit more cost effective. But hey, if you want a nice variegated philodendron Burle Marx, go to Callaway's. $99 is the price. And here's what I think is so interesting. So here we've got a $499 large specimen of a Monstera Thai Constellation. So they've got all of their Monsteras all grouped together at Calloways. And that's what I like about Calloways is they have really good plant organization. Look at that new leaf that is about to unfurl. And look at how strong that stem is with that variegation. But what's interesting is we've got a regular Monstera deliciosa here. This is in a 4-inch planter for $9.99. Just green, right? So I love green plants. You already know that I am a fan of that. But right next to it, you have all of these other Monstera Thai Constellations. So the 4-inch planter right here is, or actually 6-inch planter right here is for $89.99. Gorgeous stems. Look at that variegation. I've actually been paying attention to the stem variegation on Monstera Thai Constellations, but really interesting that there is such a huge price difference between just a green plant and a variegated plant. I've never really thought about why that is. I mean, there's just such a big gap. And it's interesting that, you have all these Monstera Thai Constellations. What was I going to say? So Callaway's actually ended up bringing Monstera Thai Constellations in for, earlier this year. But now you can see that big box stores are going to start carrying them. I wouldn't pay $89.99 for one right now just because we can find them for, a little bit cheaper prices at a big box store or even a grocery store. This one right here is a Monstera Peru for $14.99. Gorgeous specimen. I know you can buy a 6-inch planter at Walmart though for $19.84 Trending Tropicals Costa Farms. But if you want a smaller version, you can go to Calloways. And that's the thing. We want to support local plant nurseries. I know I do a lot of big box plant shopping content, but if you have some really good nurseries, local nurseries, I would also buy from there. Now, this one is a gorgeous specimen of a Monstera Thai Constellation. Look at that half moon. The fenestration is already there, and also just the marbling of the leaves. That is stunning. So this one is a little bit more variegated, and I would say the genetics on that particular plant is going to lead itself to give you better variegation. And that's the thing about variegated plants. Sometimes it's the light conditions that you give it that impact it, but also the initial variegation, the genetics of it. Here is a Ficus triangularis braided tree. I want to buy another one of these. Mine, the first one didn't do well, so I didn't exchange at Callaway's. What I plan to do is get one of these and make it into a bonsai. And in a future video, I'm going to show you how I create a bonsai with that. Here is a Ficus Amstead King. I like this a lot by Proven Winners. Now this one I believe is for $39.99. Look at that very narrow leaf about it. And then we also have another Proven Winners right here. This is a Ficus Benjamina or Benjamina over the edge for $39.99 as well, or $29.99. One of the two. Gorgeous variegation. I love that a lot. And this would be another bonsai specimen I would try, more of a tropical bonsai. So for those that don't know what bonsai is, it's basically growing a plant in a shallow container and making it like a tree form, shaping it, trimming it, and training it to be a specific form. So we will see if I can do that. And you can see right here, this one is an interesting one. This is a Ficus Celebrate. I've never seen this Ficus. If you notice that the leaves are a different type of shape, I'm going to pull this down. That's really cool as well. I like how the leaves are narrow, but also very rounded. And I would assume that this Ficus, just like all Ficus, need more bright indirect light. I'm actually growing my Ficus Ruby that I bought from Trader Joe's in full sun out in my front lawn, and it's doing very well. I'm actually getting some really good variegation, and they just tend to be a little bit more vigorous with all that light. And then right over here, we've got a Ficus Audrey right here for $29.99. Love Ficus Audrey. I have a huge one in my backyard that's growing out in my shaded patio. It lost all of its leaves, but it is now starting to show buds of leaves. It starts to unfurl. I may cut it back to propagate it and get it more of a tree form. So we're going to see if that works out for me. And you can see they've got all of their Ficus plants all in one area. And that's the thing I love about organization, because when you put all of your similar plant care, it just makes it easier for us to shop and really make a great selection. I definitely love this one too. This is a red Hawaiian compact tea plant or cordyline plant. I do want to grow this indoors. Now with cordyline plants, again, when growing them indoors, they are a little bit more susceptible to spider mites. Now this 6-inch starter one is for $16.99. I would like to try and grow that. I won't buy that today, but that would be another plant I would grow indoors. I may actually get the compact version and grow it outdoors, at least for this season, to see what kind of coloration I would get. Mine that I bought from Walmart is actually out in full sun, and I'm getting some really good pink variegation. But so many beautiful plants here. I'm just going to walk through here and just keep showing you guys all of the beautiful foliage and variegation. Right over here, we've got a ton of proven winner Hoyas and just Hoyas in general. So for all of my Hoya heads, my Hoya lovers, here you go. I want to show you this one right here, right off the bat. This is a Hoya Quintiana, or what you call a Hoya Wyetii. Gorgeous looking Hoya. You can see that the pink right there, it is a little bit more sun stressed, and what that means is that it's gotten a lot of like light, and it gives you like different types of variegation, more pinks and reds. And this one is a Hoya pot of gold. It looks like a macrophylla, but look at that as well. I need to get some more Hoyas because I've actually found that if you can give Hoyas a lot of bright light, they're really easy to grow. They can tolerate being underwatered, meaning that you don't have to water them nearly as much because they have very thick foliage that can store a lot of water. And you can see right here, this is a Hoya compacta in a 4-inch planter for $19.99. That's a little bit pricey for me. I've seen better prices, but check this out. Here is another Hoya Wyetii by Proven Winners. Now this one is for $9.99. That is not a bad price at all for a starter 4-inch planter for Hoyas. You know, whenever I think of Hoyas, there's not as many Hoyas available at big box stores. Like you'd really have to go to like a local plant nursery or even buy them online. And you can see they've got some more hybrids right here. So this is a Proven Winners hybrid. This is another Hoya that they have. That's Hoya Stepping Stone. Really nice looking Hoya for $9.99. And you can see they've just got a sea of Hoyas. Look at this one right here. Nice variegation. Sea Stones right here. Sea Stones Hoya. Really nice looking variegation. I bet you that if you get it sun stressed, you'll get some nice reds and pinks as well. So you can flood Hoya with a lot of light. They prefer it. They will love it. And I am still waiting for my Hoya Carnosa Crimson Princess to actually bloom. And you can see here, look at how gorgeous that variegation is for that Hoya. Love that a lot. And I'm just going to keep showing you guys all of the Proven Winner plants that they have here. And here is a hanging basket of Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. Love that white variegation on the edges of the leaves. This one is for $29.99. This is really wanting me to buy Hoya. So this is a problem again when you go plant shopping, plant foldies. Like, I want to buy all of like the Proven Winner Hoyas, all of these hanging baskets. Like, look at how adorable this peperomia is right here. Love that. And this is only for $12.99 in a 4-inch hanging basket. Look at how healthy the leaves are. Look at that variegation, and even just the heart shape is actually very cute. I want to add that to my collection, but not today. I'm just going to keep looking at these plants. I've been very good about that. And you can see right over here, they've got a bunch of peperomia. So this is just a regular peperomia obtusifolia, the green version. And then we've got a peperomia golden right over there with the variegation. But you can see this one is also for $9.99. That's not a bad price at all. And you can see that this one is actually happy because those rat tails are actually the blooms or flowers of the peperomia obtusifolia. I only have like, I think 3 or 2 peperomia in my collection. I have a peperomia Ginny and I have a peperomia Red Luna. So we're going to see if I can add some more peperomia. I do like this a lot. I ended up finding this particular peperomia at H-E-B, which is another grocery store out in Texas. I got it for $6. So I got a better deal with it. But, you know, proven winner plants, I would recommend them because they really are winners. They perform. They are very hardy. They're very easy. They're very healthy. And they have some really good varieties and hybrids. So I commend proven winners. I would recommend them for anybody that is buying indoor and outdoor houseplants. Just a really good nursery and plant supplier. So this one is for $9.99. And then we're going to keep looking at some other plants. So we've got some more Epipremnum aureum, or not Epipremnum aureum, Epipremnum pinnatum on totems right here. Look at that. This one is the Aurea, but this one doesn't have nearly as much variegation. This one's for $39.99. So $40 for this. Not a bad one at all. I love it when, you know, Epipremnum pinnatum grow on totems just because you get the leaves to grow larger, and when they start fenestrating, it's awesome. This is the Aurea version of like a Cebu blue pothos. Like that a lot. And this was another Epipremnum pinnatum that wasn't as readily available until recently. So it's really nice to see local plant nurseries offering them. And then you can see right here, we've got some zebra plants. And, you know, with the zebra plant, I always find them to be very beautiful, but they just never get me inspired to pick up and actually buy. I like to just admire them. And you can see these are some bonsai right here. This one has been in a bonsai pot for 3 to 4 years. I don't know what particular plant this is, but I love bonsai. Now with bonsai, whenever you are potting them up in these planters, you have to give it really fast draining soil because the risk of root rot is a lot higher. I don't know what this bonsai is, but this one is a flowering one. Like that a lot. So I am inspired to do a Ficus triangularis bonsai. And this is another type of ficus tree. Ficus are really good candidates actually to make for tropical bonsai. And you can see they've got some varieties here. Now this one is, I believe, 8 to 10 years old. Look at those aerial roots. Now this one right here is a Ficus Golden Gate bonsai. I've had one of those before. You know, ficus bonsai are easy. You can defoliate them and actually get them to have smaller leaves. And you can get this one right here. I actually rescued a Walmart one. This is an Ulmus pulva, or a Chinese elm. Look at that shape of it. Really nice. I ended up getting one and I repotted it in a bonsai pot. It is starting to push out new leaves, so we'll see if it'll actually survive and become a viable bonsai. But you know, bonsai take a while. It's an art that will take decades to really get a really good specimen plant. But I did want to show you all of these different plants right here, like this air plant in a crate. Gorgeous looking one. And I'm just going to take the time to just pan over and show you different types of plants. So I'm going to stop my commentary right over here. Look at that gorgeous looking Triscanthia Nanook for $9.99. And then this one right here is a really cool looking plant. This one is a Cryptanthus for $19.99. Like that pink, it does have some serrated edges on the leaves, and then we just have one that's more green. They remind me of like colorful snake plants or Sansevieria plants. And speaking of colorful, when you pan over here, look at all of these gorgeous bromeliads. Love these bromeliads. I love the bromeliads that look like somebody just spray painted them. This one is for $24.99. So all of these 6-inch planted bromeliads, assorted versions, different variegations, are for $24.99. And as I pan over here, we've got some more Phalaenopsis orchids. These ones are for $14.99. Look at the face of that bloom. Gorgeous looking Phalaenopsis orchid. I am super excited to have finally added a variegated Phalaenopsis orchid to my collection. I bought that at Kroger, a grocery store out here in North Dallas. And you can see here is another angle of this beautiful looking Dieffenbachia camouflage. Now with Dieffenbachias, you need to make sure you are giving it a lot of bright light. And look at this beautiful crate of an anthurium. Look at that heart-shaped leaf. I love the veining, and I love the fact that it is in a crate. So it's a different way to grow a plant and also display a plant. This one is for $59.99. I'm gonna go ahead and hang it over here, right on the maidenhair fern hanging basket. But what gorgeous looking plants they have at Calloways. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would recommend this particular Calloways off of Highway 121 off of Custer Road. And you can see right here, we've got some more bromeliads. Such a stunning looking aglaonema white rain. Love the white stems. And then right next to it is an amazing, gorgeous looking Monstera Thai Constellation. Look at those leaves. I'm glad that my Monstera Thai Constellation I bought about 4 years ago has gotten that large. Love the fenestrated leaves as well. And look at this view. Isn't this lovely? And then this is a huge Schefflera amato. Look at that beautiful Schefflera umbrella tree plant. Really nice looking one. And then we've got a bunch of other tropical plants. Like this is a Philodendron Bellitiae. Look at how large it is. And I believe that is for $59.99. That is not a bad price at all for a large Philodendron Bellitiae. I like it because of the orange stems. What a gorgeous looking philodendron. And that is another philodendron that was really expensive a couple years back. And you can see right here, they've got a little section, a little decorated area where you can see they can just display their plants in a way that's inspiring. Like I love looking at all of these different types of plants. The way they display it at this particular Calloways is inspiring. It makes you want to buy plants. And it just is a good place to just walk around. So like if you're not going to buy plants, you can just stare at the plants and admire them. And you can see right here, this is a ficus tree, a full-blown ficus tree. Look at that. And I love that it's shaped like a tree, good canopy. Look at the shapes of the leaves. I like those rounded edges, and they've got two of them, so that symmetry looks really nice. I mean, I wish I could grow a full-blown tree like that indoors, but the thing is, I don't have really large, or not really large, I have a fairly nice size house. It's just I don't have tall ceilings. I wish I did. Otherwise, I would be taking something like this Schefflera amato in my space, because look at how large that is. And that's the thing about Calloways, at least for local plant nurseries, you can get different varieties of plants, different sizes of plants. And you can see right here, they've got another gorgeous looking Dieffenbachia camouflage. Love that mint variegation. And this is, I believe, for $39.99. That is not a bad price at all for a very large Dieffenbachia. And when you talk about large plants, like over here in this corner, we've got a plethora of different types of plants. Like that big plant right there straight ahead is a spathiphyllum or a peace lily. We've got a bunch of Monstera deliciosas, large aglaonema silver bays. You can see that there is a cordyline tea plant. And you know how we always talk about a specific Dracaena that I show in all of my videos? Look at a large form version of a Dracaena, Janet Craig compacta. And these Monstera Monstera deliciosa, sorry, excuse me. These ones are for $49.99. That is not a bad price at all. When you think about these large Monstera deliciosas, they're really healthy, and I would actually recommend buying them at a local plant nursery as compared to a big box store. And you can see we've got more aglaonemas here. Now this is an aglaonema that has piqued my interest. Not sure what this aglaonema is, but it's got a lot of things going on with it. And this one is also, I believe, for $39.99. May end up buying this eventually. Look at the stems here. Gorgeous looking white stems. This is a really full plant. This is like a combination of an Aglaonema golden bay plus stripes. I think it might be that, like a Aglaonema moonlight or something, but don't quote me on that. That is a gorgeous looking Aglaonema. Now, all of these Aglaonema silver bays are your go-to Aglaonema. It's super easy to find them, and look at how large they get. I actually want to get a large Aglaonema silver bay. I think it's absolutely stunning, very elegant. A good place to put them in would be in a darker space in your house, because they can tolerate lower light conditions. But I'm just going to walk over here and keep showing you all of the plants that they have available, and they have some water features here that I would love to get. Look at that right there. Now over here we've got just a green Monstera deliciosa in a 10-inch planter, or bigger planter than that, but this one is only for $99. So $99 for a very large Monstera deliciosa. Now let's take a look at its counterpart. This is a Monstera Thai Constellation in the same type of planter. The leaves are slightly bigger, but you know what? There is a huge price difference. So this one is for $499. So you can see that just a regular green plant, and then when you start throwing in the variegation, plant pricing goes up. My opinion on it is, obviously, at least for a lot of plant collectors, we like variegated plants. Like this one right here is going to be a highly variegated new leaf that unfurls, probably a full white one. That would be awesome. But we should also appreciate the green plants. Like, I am a big advocate when it comes to just the green versions of a particular plant. I think that that is the natural version, and they're more vigorous in growth, so you'll just get a lot more size from it. But I can understand why we would love a Monstera Thai Constellation, but when you have those leaves side by side, there is a big price difference, $400 to be exact. And you can see right here, we've got some more Dieffenbachia camouflage. Like, I almost want to get a Dieffenbachia camouflage because it's got like a ghostly mist look about it. I don't know. And these are only for $39.99. So that's a really large Dieffenbachia. The thing about it is I don't really have the space for it. So we're just going to keep looking at all of these beautiful large plants. I'm going to pan over here and show you. Wanted to feature this. Look at this bromeliad bloom. Isn't that an interesting one? Love that a lot. I also love that hydrangea right over here, that Monstera deliciosa right here, and they've got a bunch of other like planters and air plant holders. I still can't get over that gorgeous looking Schefflera right there, and then obviously those big ficus trees. Now the last part of this video I'm going to feature are some of these Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blues. These have been here for a while. They're growing up on a totem, and you can see how large the leaves have gotten. Love the blue silver tone of these leaves. Cebu blue is another plant that is very vigorous in growth, but I think that they look best when you grow them up a totem pole. And then you can see right over here, we've got some 4-inch Philodendron brantianums. I have one that's growing, Philodendron brantianum, $24.99. Now, if you grow it up a totem, these leaves can get as large and long as like 2 to 3 feet. So, you know, it's interesting that these plants can actually really size up when you grow them up on a pole. I do want to get this. So this is a Philodendron orange marmalade. What I like about this is I feel like the variegation, the yellow is actually a lot more pronounced and holds as compared to like a Philodendron painted lady. These ones are, I believe, are for $29.99. I did think about getting one of these, but not today. I'm trying to save some money, but if I end up getting another Philodendron, this would be the one I would pick, this particular one actually, because look at the leaves, they're perfect. And I do want to add more Philodendron, and it also helps the fact that this is a yellow or neon colored plant. I love those a lot, and this is a gorgeous looking Philodendron Summer Glory for $19.99. I love how that the leaf has like a natural metallic shine about it. Here are the larger versions right here in a 6-inch planter, but you can see they've got an array of different types of philodendron. You know, these are collectible. This one is for $19.99. That's actually not bad at all. I wouldn't mind spending that for this Philodendron Summer Glory. The undersides tend to be more of a caramel look about it, and that's the thing about Calloways. Again, it's really interesting that they're actually having more different types of philodendrons. Now this one right here is a beautiful one as well, another underrated plant. Look at that silver foliage on it, and you can see right here we've got some philodendron white princess on a totem. These are for $99, I believe. Is it $99? And then this one right here, I can't really pronounce the name, but this one looks like a philodendron boletier, but I actually have this plant. I prefer this plant because it's a little bit more of a vigorous grower. Look at how long the leaves are. Love how narrow they are, and it is an easy, fast-growing philodendron. I am about getting ready to cut it up and propagate some more, but I do like that philodendron. That one is probably proven winners for $39.99. And then we also have a philodendron silver sword right here. I got a philodendron silver sword at HEB for $6, and then we have a philodendron fuzzy petiole right here on a totem. So lots to choose from. And then here is a philodendron Goldie Eye. That's a nice one as well. This one I believe is for $19.99 in a 6-inch planter. Look at the leaves. Look at the natural shine on it. Right over here we've got a philodendron hope. Now as this matures, the leaves get a little bit more serrated and more fenestrated. Really like that a lot for $19.99. And then we have a cool hanging basket of Epipremnum pinnatum for $49.99. This is the Aurea version. So you can see that the regular pothos have rounder leaves. These ones are a little bit more narrow. Now they have hanging baskets. I've never really seen hanging baskets offered, so that's exciting to see at Calloways. I would love to get a hanging basket of Epipremnum pinnatum. I have a Cebu blue one that's trailing, living in my kitchen. And we've got a bunch of Epipremnum aureum or pothos plants. So if you are a beginner for house plants or growing indoor plants, get you a Epipremnum aureum or pothos. Like this neon pothos is a classic one. Beautiful coloration. And my plant foldies, I hope you guys enjoyed this Calloways nursery tour. I like to mix up my big box stores and Calloways nursery plant shopping videos. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.